Breaking news in the NBA, ladies and gentlemen, right now. Lord have mercy, Donovan Mitchell is New York Knicks bound. I'm almost ready for certain this deal is going to happen. I know y'all think I'm crazy. Y'all think, oh, this dude Flight is just talking out his ass again. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you the Knicks gonna get somebody. When I told you I heard something from upstairs, I was not bullshitting with you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hearing something from upstairs. The Knicks gonna get somebody. I'm feeling real orange and blue. I'm telling you. I think this season, I told the people, listen, I'm a Knicks fan. Y'all know this. We will have a New York Knicks presence here at Flight Sports TV coming up this season. You could book that. I'm telling you, I feel like it's time to go home. Listen, Donovan Mitchell, he wants to be a Knick. The Knicks have all the assets, to pull this deal off. This is why I find it comical when I'm hearing these other teams come up like the Charlotte Hornets and other teams, that got thrown out there. Miami, I believe, was in it, but it's laughable when we discussing the assets and the draft capital that the Knicks have. This deal is going to happen. It's all about how much they have to give up. The Knicks found themselves in a crazy situation. It's going to hopefully they don't have to give up the house. But another thing I'm hearing from upstairs, this trade screams Carmelo Anthony. I think they're going to gut this goddamn roster. I think they're going to give up so much. I don't even know who the hell they're going to have around this guy when it's all said and done. We haven't even heard. There's so many rumors and speculation. I would hope that something leaks, and I don't think it's going to leak because I think these two teams are seriously on the verge of making the deal happen. Let's just make it clear. Donovan Mitchell cannot start training camp with the Utah Jazz. They got a new head coach. They can't have this new head coach getting thrown into this circus. They got to get Donovan Mitchell out the building before the start of training camp, because they got a new head coach. They cannot have this new head coach walking into all this craziness. It's bad enough he done walked into it already. You got to give this man a chance. The last thing he need to be worried about, on day one of training camp is where Donovan Mitchell is going. It's obvious there's no future there in Utah. They didn't get the job done. They had countless opportunities, but the window has closed. They traded Rudy Gobert. Let's keep it 100. After you trade Gobert, it's time for the rebuild. Utah is still going to be a formidable team years from now. It's just time to rebuild what just happened. You go through the draft. Look what Oklahoma City has done. I don't think Danny Ainge is there for no reason. So Danny Ainge is there to get hauls. Like, he trying to get a haul. They not going to do the Knicks no favors. Something's telling me it's going to take. People think we're going to be able to keep Ovi. We're going to be able to keep Grind. Listen, we more than likely going to lose both of them. And I'm telling you, when it's all said and done, the Knicks possibly could only have RJ, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson. I think that. And another thing, a lot of people are not talking about, but I have 100% factual evidence on this. Jalen Brunson signed that deal with the New York Knicks with the thought process that Donovan Mitchell was on his way next. I'm not going to say it. Listen, you see his tampering violations all over the place. Bottom line, there's tampering going on all 30 teams. I hate how they single out, when you clearly hear LeBron James having lunch and dinner and shit, at his house, him and Anthony Davis, they all met up, this, that, and the third, and there's absolutely no tampering violations with that. It's crazy. It makes absolutely no sense, how they pick and choose who they want to target for these kind of endeavors, but I'm here to tell you right now, the fix is in. Donovan Mitchell is headed to New York because he wants to play with Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson wants to play with him, and the Knicks, they operate, and I ain't going to say they're operating like a small market team, but this is the things you have to do. Jalen Brunson, people are like, why'd you overpay for Brunson? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Listen, there's a method to the madness. This was a package deal. Brunson and Donovan Mitchell want to play together. You got to think about something. Brunson was backing up Luka, so him coming to New York and having Donovan Mitchell now, where I think Mitchell will give up the ball a little bit more to let him rock. Because you see he was doing that with Conley. You had other weapons out there in Utah, where the ball was moving. So I think Jalen Brunson would love that. A lot of people thought Brunson is coming in here to just run the one-man show. Little do they know, it's reinforcements on their way. Now the question is, do they give up the? What's my man's name? I forgot that's crazy. I forgot my man's name already. Mitchell Robinson. Pardon me. I got a lot of names in my head right now. My man Mitchell Robinson. The truth. They got to make sure they hold on to Mitch. You know, it's like, how much pieces do you give up in this deal? What are they looking for? You know, because it's like I hope that the Knicks they hold it down. You know, because the former regimes would have had this deal would have been done already, because they would have gave everything. I think what's happening is the Knicks are trying not to outbid against themselves. Number one, no team has the draft capital that the Knicks have. The Knicks can unload 8 first-rounders on them right now. No team could do that. Mind you, some of these first-rounders ain't even 8 picks. They got picks coming from Dallas. They got picks from OKC. You know, it's a multitude of things they want to do with this. The Knicks could really walk out with the W, and I think that's something that Danny Ainge is trying to make sure don't happen. Because the last thing you want is the Knicks fucking around and holding on to Obi in this deal, holding on to some first-round picks. See, they trying to get it all. You know, and the Knicks is trying to make sure they don't bid against themselves, which is very smart. You know, because you look at these other teams. Look what you're getting from these other teams. Why you coming to New York like you trying to get the house? You wasn't getting an apartment with none of these teams. You know, but they coming to the Knicks for everything. You know, so that's something that we got to monitor. You know, with them trying to beat the Knicks over the head. You know, Danny Ainge knows the Knicks, the previous regimes, they could be a little idiotic, but they don't understand. They're going to have to respect Scott Perry. They're going to have to respect, you know, the people that's in there right now, the Leon Roses and things of that nature. You're not just talking to James Dolan, or you just going to hit up one of these fools in the back and say, yo, this deal got to get done. But what makes me really the Knicks are under pressure to get this deal done. So it's two different things happening all at one time. You know, number one, you got the situation with, well, I was going to say the Knicks are in a tough spot because the fans, and I'm telling you, I know this might sound cliche or what, the Knicks fan base is strong, you know, is an army, you know, and the Knicks fans are imploring the Knicks to go get Donovan Mitchell at all costs. You know, you can't, listen, Leon Rose got pressure. You was brought in, you got Worldwide Wesley, you got all of these people in place, you know, Steve Stout. All of these people that they have with the Knicks right now was put there to bring in a star. That's all they talked about. So they are clearly under the gun, you know, and I think they look thinking like, oh shit, okay, we can't, they could have been got Donovan Mitchell, but it's all about giving up the house to get him. So that's where the Knicks find themselves in. How do y'all see this deal gonna get played out? How do you see the parts get moved around? Who goes, who stays, what deal gets it done? We're gonna pick this up later on tonight. We're going live tonight, so make sure y'all pull up. It's gonna be a hell of a one. It's Flight Sports TV. Salute to all the people that's rocking with us. This Donovan Mitchell to New York, to me, it seems imminent. You know, it's all about, you know, the pieces that it's gonna take to get it done. But as far as him becoming a Knick, being a New York Knick, it's going to happen. His hometown team, I believe he's from Westchester County. He's not from the city, you know, but it don't matter. He got orange and blue running through his veins. You know, this is just a match made in heaven, man. Donovan Mitchell, New York City, let's go. The Knicks, we back, baby. It's Flight Sports TV.